What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. The Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, is back in the news, and this time it's over supposedly some inappropriate comments they made about recruits and about black folks, Mexican folks, and others that were unsavory as regard to race and indifference and how they feel about people. Now, supposedly, they're under scrutiny because a lot of conversations were secretly recorded by officers on the scene in these circles in which these communications had happened. They said there's roughly 90 recordings of officers and supervisors perpetrating, voicing open discrimination against potential recruits and colleagues based on race and orientation, talking about each other as fellow officers and those that want to be fellow officers. And what's crazy about this, guys, is the ones that were doing all of this talking were the ones that are in charge of saying whether somebody becomes a police officer or not. I want you to take a look at this, and we'll come back and I'm going to explain to you why I'm not surprised by any of this.
The LAPD under scrutiny this morning after a complaint was filed accusing officers of making racist and other derogatory comments about their colleagues. The alleged remarks secretly recorded. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in our newsroom with the details. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hey, Frank. Good morning to you. Yeah, all of this according to an explosive LA Times investigation reporting a Los Angeles police officer working in the department's recruitment office recorded dozens and dozens of conversations for the better part of a year. These recordings revealing cops spewing racist, sexist, and homophobic comments. Now, all of this according to a complaint filed with the LAPD and reviewed by the LA Times, detailing roughly 90 recordings made inside the recruiting division, portraying officers and supervisors voicing open discrimination against potential recruits and colleagues based on race, sex, and sexual orientation. These are the same officers tasked with deciding who can join the LAPD. Now, in one conversation, take a look at this. A Latina LAPD officer offered this advice on how to fight African Americans, saying, quote, "You hit black people in the liver. I heard they got weak livers," according to the complaint filed January 5th with the LAPD's Professional Standards Bureau and the Inspector General's office. The same officer allegedly describing a Latina janitor to her colleagues as, quote, wetback. But the complaint is accusing a Sergeant Denny Jong, of leading the prejudicial banter. In one conversation with subordinates about Dodger baseball legend Fernando Valenzuela's death from septic shock, saying, quote, "I know why he died. He ate too many tacos." The complaint also claiming officers reportedly referred to black people as monkeys. The complaining officer, a Latino with 10 years on the job, initially made his written accusations anonymously, but now is handing over dozens of hours of recordings that took place between March and October of last year. When news of this complaint broke, Chief Jim McDonnell at the LAPD removed a lieutenant, a sergeant, and 4 officers from the unit, saying he was deeply disappointed by these reports. Now, a scandal in the LAPD's recruiting office couldn't come at a worse time. The LAPD is struggling to recruit new officers, with more than 100 cops expected to leave the force by next year, dropping the department to the lowest amount of officers it's seen in roughly 30 years. We at KTLA have reached out to the LAPD and the mayor's office about this case. We're waiting to hear back from both.
All right, guys, that's the story of this bullshit. Now, listen, I just saw this on an article. It says the complaining officer, a Latino, so he turned them in with 10 years on the job, initially made accusations anonymously, but is now handing over dozens of hours, they're saying, of recordings that took place between March and October of 2024. So this was recently. When news of the complaint broke, LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell removed a lieutenant, a sergeant, and 4 officers from the recruiting unit, saying he was deeply disappointed by the reports. A scandal in LAPD's recruiting office could not come at a worse time, like they said in the video, where it says The force is struggling to recruit new officers, and more than 100 cops are expected to leave at the end of the year, dropping the department to the lowest numbers of officers in nearly 30 years. As crime is going up, they can't even get people to do the damn job of policing. And I'm not surprised by this. In fact, I think this is a normal thing. It is, not just in Los Angeles, but in any police department or place like a jail or prison. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot hold people captive or arrest people without feeling a certain way about them, whether they're black, white, Mexican, Latino, or whatever. This is stuff that's normal. Now, what's messed up about this is, Latino guy is the one that reported it, and he did the right thing. People feel the way they feel. And a lot of people are confident enough to feel as though they cool around you to say what they want to say and think nothing happens because you wear the same uniform as them. Or they feel comfortable enough thinking that you're one of the boys. And this is not just LA, this is all over the place. There are a lot of people out here that just get entrenched in their job and feel as though they can say what they want and feel how they feel. You can feel how you want. You keep them opinions to yourself. But this right here is bad because these people are in charge of who comes in and becomes a police officer. And they had the power to stop people. So imagine how many good people that wanted to be good cops was turned away. Either way, this whole thing is stupid. This is not surprising to me at all. Especially in a place like America where, you got a bunch of people mixing in with different cultures, different ideals, different things they heard growing up, different things they seen and experienced. It's not I don't know. Stuff like this, it's offensive, but it don't really offend me like that. You know what I'm saying? And hear me when I say this, because this is nothing new. This is nothing new. And they need police officers bad. And you got people like this in charge of who becomes police officers and who doesn't. So what do you think they're doing if they have a certain type of mentality? They're going to get and recruit people that think like them and act like them. See what I'm saying? The more people you have with negative thoughts and actions and a certain way of thinking, the easier it is to cover up indiscretions when they violate other people. This right here is craziness. They're suspended. Why ain't they fired? You see their numbers is low because they're unionized. It's hard to get people out when they're in a union. You see it all the time with police doing some of the most craziest crimes, sometimes involving children. Got them dead to rights, but they don't fire them. They just put them on paid administrative leave because that's a part of the union agreement, even though they're criminals behind the badge. This whole thing is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's stupid. Can't fire them, so you just suspend them. Didn't say their names, just said what they were: a lieutenant, a sergeant, and some officers. What y'all think, man? Leave me a comment in the comment section. I think this happens all over America. You know what I'm saying? It's just a mindset that a lot of people have when they're running out there apprehending people in crimes and being in the street and just dealing with. I think it is what it is, and it's messed up, but it's a reality that's out here. A lot of times the people that are in charge of an important job don't look at it like that. They look at it more of, you know what I'm saying? If you think on their level of thinking, you can get in. It's bullshit. Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can't shame shameless people, even if they're in uniform. So get them the fuck out of there. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.